So it's actually pretty simple to turn one beat into thousands of dollars in royalties. It's simple. The process is simple. However, what makes it challenging is that most producers don't know the process to take to make that happen. Or they think they have to do it's a bunch of crazy extra work, which could be true, could be not true, depending on what you consider work, what you consider a lot of work. Just depends. That's subjective, I guess. But I'm going to share with you how you can do that, how you can turn one beat into an income producing asset that will earn you royalties for an extended period. I haven't had my coffee yet, so this I don't know how this video about to turn out. For an extended period of time. So first thing you need to know is you need to know who's paying for music, right? If you turn on TV, you turn on Netflix. Just found out I had a Netflix placement on this the documentary series Sprint, where they were kind of documenting the process of the runners during the Olympics and things like that. Had a placement on there, and it was a track that I did years ago, like a minute ago. But that track is still earning, and it's still getting placed on like new shows, new productions, new movies and things like that. So you have to know where these TV shows, where these networks, where these movies, where these brands are looking for music. So you could do it the hard way and try and chase down brands, try and chase down Nike, try and chase down Target, try and taste, this is, I don't know, I need some coffee. Try and chase down Netflix and all these individual productions, or you could do it the easy way, which is the way that I found to be most effective. And that way is reaching out to someone or some company that has multiple relationships established with these places already, right? So that could look a couple different ways. It could be in the form of a music supervisor who, is music supervising multiple projects, juggling multiple projects, or working with a music supervision company. You could link up with a sync agent. There's a few sync agents out there that will pretty much, take your song, your music, and pitch it on your behalf to the relationships that they have. What I found in terms of sync agents, usually it seems like they focus on a lot more like full songs, but yeah. And then the third way, which I think is one of the easiest ways to break in, especially if you're just getting started and you're kind of getting your feet wet in this space, is through a music library or production music library or sync publishing company. They all kind of mean the same thing, but it's basically a publisher that specializes in pitching music for TV and film. And you are able to link up with a company like that and pretty much produce the music. You send them the music. If they like the music, they'll sign that music and then pitch it whenever there's a need. Or their clients, a lot of times these publishers will have their music in like a catalog on their website, and their clients will come to the website and publish that music. And if you want to know like how to find these companies, how to search, and like the ways I took, there's a free guide. The link is in the description. I think it's like on page 5 or 6 or something like that. I kind of go into detail on like, what companies to look for. But you want to find companies like that. It's going to be the easiest way to get in because number one, they need a lot of music. Number two, they don't care if you have credits. They don't care if you have a bunch of experience. Like if your music sounds great, that's really all they care about. and then you can get in. And then what happens is you make the music, you send it to them that one time, and your music now has the potential to continue to get placed over and over and over again. Now, this is the dope part about sync, is that if it gets placed on a show that reruns a lot, guess what? Every time it reruns, you get paid over and over and over again. So you start to see how these royalties can stack over time relatively quickly. Give me 1 second. I gotta unbuckle my kid. Ready for the day? Yeah. Solve some problems. Right, this one here. All right. So it starts to add up over time. And then if you are landing placements on, major networks like your NBCs, your Fox, your CBS, that is going to, oops, I think I messed something up. That is going to add up even more quickly because they just typically pay more on those major networks. So, I mean, like one placement, I seen a placement, it was on CBS. Like one use was like $300. So you could see, like, if something's going on, you got like a March Madness, or you got like, playoffs, or like something where they put this music in rotation and they keep using it for highlights and pregame shows and postgame shows and halftime shows and things like that, you can hit 1,000 relatively quickly. You can hit 1,000 quickly on a cable network on a show like Love and Hip Hop that replays like crazy, right? So you'll have the original one, and then it'll just keep playing. You can get thousands from a show like Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I always mention that because that was one that I think that was probably the most international track that has gotten placed, that has earned thousands of royalties over time.
Hey. Hello, I can't see you because it's so dark in here. I couldn't see you. The windows were dark. You ready to go? Can you say yes, ma'am? Say, okay, KK. What's my name? KK. Say KK. He talks to me when you're not around.
I know. I believe it.
Yes, it is, KK. Good job.
Have fun, man.
He's just a quiet boy.
Yeah, he's just chill.
Who did you get that from?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was quiet. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now I can't stop talking.
Hey, he's smart though.
Have a good one.
You can observe everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bye-bye.
All right. See you. All right. So, that's hilarious. Yeah. No, I was quiet just like him when I was younger. Reserved. I still don't like. If I don't have to talk, I'm usually not talking. Like, I'm just chilling, observing, taking everything in, and when I need to speak, I speak. But I don't like to just waste a bunch of time just running my mouth for no reason. It's either to help somebody, to communicate something, or whatever. But yeah, I always mention Keeping Up with the Kardashians because that was probably like the most international show that I've seen literally air all over the world, like in all types of countries. I think that probably makes up for like the majority of like my international royalties, because that show was just everywhere. So you get a show like that, it's gonna add up, and it just continues to pay. I think the furthest I was able to go back and royalties for that show was like, man, 2019, I think, and it still shows up on my checks every quarter. It's crazy. So, that's how you can take like one beat, and that one beat can definitely generate thousands of dollars for you over time, and you only had to do the work one time. Now, like, don't get it twisted. You gotta put in some work up front, right? Like, it's not gonna be easy. It's simple, yes, but it's not gonna be easy. You gotta put in some work. You gotta study what music works on TV. You gotta listen, watch some TV, listen to the music's being used, listen to how the music is being used. And then you're gonna put in a lot of work, crafting a playlist, learning how to produce it, learning how to prepare the music, and then finally learning how to pitch the music. And these are things that I go over in my Sync Producer Hub. Just comment Hub if you want details on my community where we kind of dive into that stuff. But you got to learn how to do all that, and it's a lot of upfront work, because then you have to pitch to the companies. You got to pitch to like a lot of companies to get some traction, because if you only take like 3 sync publishing companies and pitch to them and then like sit and wait, things are going to move a lot slower for you versus the producer who's pitching 3 to 5 companies every day, right? So you got to put in a lot of work up front so that you can get the traction as quick as possible, so that you can start loading that publisher up with as much music as quick as possible, so you can start getting the placements as quick as possible. So a lot of the focus, like, you're going to focus a little bit on production, making sure you're crafting placement ready music to build like a playlist that you're going to pitch with. But then after that, a lot of your time is going to be spent researching companies, pitching to those companies. If you don't know what to say, use ChatGPT and ask it what to say. We have all these tools available now that makes it a lot easier. I just had to make it up, man, when I got started. But a lot of it is going to be pitching to these companies, pitching to a lot of them, and then eventually some are going to hit back. You're going to do some publishing deals with them. And the cool thing about these types of publishing companies that specialize in TV and film placements is that the publishing deal isn't tied to you as the producer or you as the artist or songwriter or whatever. It's tied to the music. So you can do multiple deals with multiple publishers with different batches of tracks, which is what I really love about it, because I don't feel tied down. I'm still free to work with whoever I want to work with, whether that's with different publishers in sync, whether that's with major artists and labels and things like that. I'm still free to be able to do whatever I want to do, because those publishing deals are only tied to the master recording. So I love that flexibility. I love that freedom. And that's why I love just working in this space so much, because I just have that flexibility, but then at the same time, I'm still able to leverage my music in order to work for me while I do what I want to do. Kick it with the fam. If we want to go to the park all day and walk a trail or take a trip, go to sleep. Like while I'm asleep, there's a show airing somewhere in the UK or, in the Philippines or like whatever, and it's earning royalties for me while I'm asleep. And then every quarter, a check will come around and boom, you kind of see some cool shows that your music has been played on. So it's pretty cool, and I think it's something I feel like every producer should at least look into and try. You may like it, you may not. Hey, sync, it ain't for everybody, you know what I mean? Like, but if it is for you, I think you should definitely give it a try. Even if it doesn't become like your main thing, it should be a part of your music production business, because it's the one thing that you can literally do one time, sit down and make the music one time, and then send it off, and that's it. You don't have to do any more work, and you'll just continue to get paid without having to put in any more additional time. It's like there's not many things that will do that for you in this world, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's how, you know, you take a beat and, you know, you can turn that into thousands and just leverage that music to continue to earn for you. And then, you know, that's just one track. So, you know, what if you can do that for multiple tracks and just build a massive catalog that's just out there working for you while you do whatever you want to do. You can work on little personal projects. I don't know, if you got some other hobbies you like doing, spend more time doing that. Whatever. Use it as your retirement fund. I don't care. Do what you want to do with it. It's up to you. But yeah, if you want to learn how to do that, I'll link the guide in the description. It'll walk you through the steps that I took to get started in this space. Hopefully it'll help you. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.